You know what? This Hunter virus thing, man. Oof, it's giving me some serious COVID vibes. And it might be completely nothing, but there's a lot of sketchy shit about this that's been going on. So there is already a Hunter virus tracking map. I'll put it up here. It turns out that a couple of years ago, 300 vials of loads of fucking random dangerous viruses were stolen from some kind of a laboratory. I'll put that up here. And then out of all of the time that this has been going on the ship, out of 147 people, we've got one update from one guy who was on the ship. There's been no social media, people not going on posting about it or anything like that. It's just sus. And the fact of the matter is that they allowed this virus to be on a boat, and the entire fucking planet did not completely surround it, put a dome over it, or in my opinion, just blown the boat up. Like legit, a 40% mortality rate, yeah, potential global pandemic. Do you know how cataclysmic that would be? It's almost like it'd fit into an agenda of depopulating the world and then coming back out of all their bunkers with the populations. Probably more going to be a case of 60% down, maybe even 70, because not to mention the first global pandemic that, was not made in a laboratory in China or unreleased in population or anything like that, has wrecked everyone's respiratory systems in general. Everyone's immune systems are weaker because of COVID. And then this is also a respiratory condition. Then the people will be in the chat well, then who's gonna do all the jobs? And I'm just robots and AI. Robots and AI. So they've been waiting potentially for robots and AI to get good enough to replace the worker bees. And then they can just, cull everyone who has holiday pay, sick pay and maternity leave and just have the robots. It makes perfect sense if you think that there's a group of, psychopaths at the top hell-bent on global domination. I don't know. This might be me and my tin-lined hat. The group of people that are after, one world order, the Great Reset, and not to mention Mr. Bill Gates going, the next pandemic, when it comes, it'll be worse.
And it won't be the last pandemic. The next one could be far more severe. I mean, this one, it killed millions. It was awful. We got the vaccine.
You know what I mean? 40% seems a lot worse. Because let's not get it twisted, the mortality rate of COVID was 1% among people that were elderly and immunocompromised. This is plague level shit. Now, at the moment, right, it's not very easy to transmit, yeah, but, it just so happens a family of viruses that this is in, right, are also quite rapidly evolving viruses. The reason why they're quite rapidly evolving viruses is because apparently it's an mRNA virus, just like COVID. I mean, watch this.
If someone tells you that they can predict the infectivity or the case fatality rate of this virus, they don't understand viral genetics. Viruses mutate all the time, especially RNA viruses. And even though we have a lot of information or some information about the Andes virus, we don't know about this Andes virus. Let me explain. I'm Dr. Terry Simpson. I studied viruses for a number of years, so this is kind of in my wheelhouse. Viruses infect the cell and make hundreds of copies, and then infect other cells and make hundreds of more copies. And when they make hundreds of copies, particular RNA viruses like hantaviruses or influenza viruses or the COVID virus, they don't make them exactly the same. They have mutations in them. Mother Nature is constantly experimenting with these viruses. So you can get...
So what that basically means is the more people that it infects, the more copies it makes of itself, the more chance it's got to basically mutate and change. Now, viruses like this generally tend to mutate to become more transmissible but less deadly, because if you get it, and as soon as you get it, you're dead, it's got less chance of spreading itself. It wants to be peppered around the world, yeah, but in the meantime, if it's got the 40% mortality rate, until it evolves to become less deadly, it's going to be a big fucking problem. Now, nothing might come of this, right? Because we have got one saving grace. There's actually been an outbreak before of this particular strain of Andes virus in Argentina in 2018 and 2019, yeah? The Chubut outbreak. yeah, where he had 34 cases and 11 deaths, and evidence of person-to-person transmission chains were there, so it did have the capacity to move like this, yeah, and they managed to contain it, right? But that's if they want to contain this, yeah. If the legit idea is to let this go and, you know what I mean, for the plan, then it's going to be bad. But if they actually want to contain it, then fine. But in my opinion, if they actually wanted to contain it, like I say, that they'd be in dome and on fire, yeah, or something along them lines, not send people back to their origin countries, because somehow already it's got in multiple places around the world. I think 13 different countries. The tracker map is very interesting, because when you actually go on this, it shows there is 6 suspected cases, 4 confirmed and 3 dead, yeah? But when you zoom out, you know, it's got just Singapore, suspected. Oh no, that's confirmed. So it's confirmed in Singapore. It's confirmed off an island right in the middle of the sea, which is weird. Okay, anyway. And it's confirmed in Spain, and it's confirmed in France. The ones that have died, I've gone back to, is that the Netherlands? Yeah, the Netherlands. I don't know what the purple is, but there's a couple of suspected cases in the Netherlands. But the UK, man, London, nah. We're an island near Coventry and Burton-upon-Trent. All right, nah. You know what I mean? How has it got? I mean, look at them. There's more dots on here than is what he's saying there. The United States, man, peppered, absolutely peppered. And then not to mention the fucking Simpsons. The Simpsons have done it again. You know what I mean? So I'm going to be keeping a very close eye on this. And if you like this kind of stuff and you want to see what basically I'm doing, because if this does get serious, you're going to need to go into full kind of like a prepper apocalyptic style survival mode, because this is not going to be like COVID. It's not something to be fucked about with. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to be like, oh, it's just like COVID, blah, blah, blah. Nah, there's no joke with this one. Yeah, if this is the case, right, if it is the case, and nothing might come of it, it might be contained and it might all be fine. But if this is the case, yeah, and it does this, it's going to be a fucking massive problem. It's going to catch a lot of people out, because a lot of people are scarred from COVID, which is very convenient as well, you know, to make it spread. Not saying that is the case. I hope to fucking Mary, Jesus and Christ that it is not the case and it's sorted and it all blows over. But if it does, you know, this could be something significant. So yeah, like the video, yeah, hit the subscribe button if you want to follow for more, because I'm going to be following this fairly closely, and I'll see you soon.